Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be rebuilding the XY table on my homemade drill press mill. We're going to be doing this for a couple reasons. First, it's not very well aligned and put together. When I first made this, it was really rushed because I had a bit of a time crunch to get this done in. So the two axes are a little bit out of not parallel but perpendicularness. There's actually, last time I measured, there's 9 thou of difference between the one side of the x-axis and the other side of the x-axis. Another reason I'm doing that, gonna be rebuilding it, is because these brackets I have right now, the mounting brackets, are absolutely horrid. They're made out of a piece of chopped off angle iron, which was way too big. So then I used some really just chintzy Phillips head bolt thingies and some spacers to put it all together. The holes were misaligned, and there's only 2 of them. So there's a lot of reasons why this is bad. One is rigidity, and I mean it's pretty rigid, but it's not as rigid as I would like. I think that's part of the reason why there's 9 thou of difference, is because that's shifted over time. And also it looks bad, just purely aesthetic reasons, and there's only 2 of them. I want to have 4, because right now 2 is still allows a little bit of movement in between the axes, so if I have 4, we'll lock it down nice and tight. So what I'm going to do first is, I have these brackets here. These are the brackets I'm going to be using. I'm pretty sure they're meant for like a shelving or something, but I just found them in my scrap drawer. What I'm going to be doing is first I'm going to take these old brackets off, and then while the table's still on here, I'll mark out some holes for the new brackets. And then once those are marked out, I'll take the table actually off of the base, and we can drill and tap those holes for the new bolts, which are these. They're not 1/4 20, they're a little bit smaller than that, but they're somewhere around there. They're a lot better than the old ones I had. But anyway, those hold these brackets on, and because of the difference in diameters between the screw and the hole, I'll actually be able to move the whole thing around a bit. So once it's all screwed together, I can just give the axes a couple taps with a hammer and hopefully get them right and nicely aligned. Hopefully I'm aiming for at least down to 5/10 of difference. That's a little bit ambitious, but that's what I'm going for. So yeah, let's take these old brackets off and mark the holes for the new ones. Alright, well I changed my mind. I went ahead and took the whole table off, because when I took off the previous mounting brackets, I found this lovely rusty surprise underneath. So that's gonna need some cleaning, obviously. So I figured I'd go ahead and do that, then put that back on here, and then mark out and drill, because this needs attention pretty badly. So I'll go ahead and fix that, and then mark the holes, then drill them and tap them and all that good stuff. Alright, all the rest is cleaned, as you just saw. I got it off with the old WD and razor blade trick, and then finished it off with a little ball of Scotch-Brite pad just to clean it up real nice. But now that that's all done, I'm ready to start marking the holes for the brackets. Now how I'm doing this is, I've labeled each of the brackets A, B, C, and D, and I'm also going to label corners of the table A, B, C, and D, and each bracket obviously goes to its respective corner. That way, when I mark these, any little discrepancy in hole spacing between the two, like maybe A and B's holes right here are a little bit different, which might be the case because I did hand drill these on the drill press. These should be the same because those are factory, but these might be different. But anyway, any discrepancies will be kept together. So like if this A's hole is say 200 thou from the side, that's not a good realistic number, but let's just say it's 200 thou from the side, and that means these two holes are say 50 thou off. They're 50 thou out of alignment. That's fine as long as I make sure that these drilled holes go with this bracket, because that way the holes will be 50 thou out of alignment, and then the bracket's also 50 thou, so it fits perfectly. And then if this one was say dead on, the holes are perfectly aligned, then we can't use that bracket over here because the holes are different. So basically I just have this lettering system to keep them all together, all in the same in their respective corners, so I don't have to worry about any holes being out of whack and not fitting right. So let's start marking those, and then we'll head over to the now quite naked drill press and drill those out. Alright, I changed my mind about something again. So as you saw, I marked out the first two bracket holes, bracket A and bracket B, and when I did those, I lined up the table, the axes sort of perpendicular, but remember, it doesn't have to be perfect because the adjusting comes after these bracket holes are drilled and tapped. I actually got it so the alignment was within 3 thou across the table, so that's pretty good, but this whole accuracy isn't as important. But the thing I changed my mind about was I want to drill and tap these before I do these holes in the back. Reason being, when I was turning this around, as you saw, to do the back end bracket holes, the thing shifted a bit, and I realized any tiny amount of shift when this thing is getting the holes marked, it's gonna lead to misalignments later, so the whole thing doesn't fit together properly. So what I'll do is I'll drill and tap these, put the brackets in lightly, and then go around the back and mark the holes for the second round of brackets. That way I won't have to worry about these holes and these holes being out of alignment because of something moving when I was marking them. So I guess what I'll do now is center punch these holes here and drill and tap them, then put the brackets on, mark the back holes, and yeah, then we'll do the alignment after that's all done. So let's do that now. Alright, as luck would have it, the battery on the camera ran out right as I was drilling the holes, so you didn't get to see that, but now they're done. We got our A hole here and our B hole here, ready to be tapped for our bolts. The bolts I measured, they're an M6 by 1 thread, so we have an M6 by 1 tap here, and I'm just gonna start tapping them. Alright, fast forward a little bit, and it's all done and put back together. I got everything aligned all nicely. After what you just saw, I marked and drilled the holes for the back brackets. And there, you can see them. So those are all on. What I did is, on the back brackets, I made the holes for the screws a lot bigger than they needed to be, so I would still have wiggle room to adjust it. So then what I did was I have loosely assembled all of it, and then just gave it with some calipers and a hammer. I aligned the two axes, so now it's perpendicular within 5/10 across this distance here, which is 6 inches. So 5/10 across 6 inches is fine for what I'm doing. It's actually probably more than fine. I'm really happy with that now. So now hopefully I can get some more accurate cuts, and everything will be a lot more rigid overall. And I think these brackets, they don't look great, but they look better than the old ones, so that's another plus side there. As luck would have it, I was short one of the bolts, so I had to use this little hex bolt there, which kind of stinks, but it's fine, I guess. So yeah, there's the mill table in all of its glory. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next time.